みなさんこんにちは. Hi everyone. Today I will teach you how to speak Japanese. In this video, you will learn the basic greetings, some common words, and the basic grammar structure of Japanese. But before we start, I would like you to know that in Japanese, you have to be careful when using the informal and the formal language. Formal language is used with people older than you, to your boss, or to your teachers, to strangers, or people you're not so close with. While the informal language is usually used to people younger than you, to people that you're really close with, to your family, or whatever. Let's get started. So I will first teach you the basic Japanese greetings. If you want to say hi, hello, or good afternoon to a friend, just say konnichiwa. And if you want to say good morning, say ohayo gozaimasu for a formal way. And if you want to say it in a casual way, just say ohayo. And if you want to say good evening, just say konbawa. So there's no formal or informal way of saying this. It's just said how it is. If you want to say good night casually, just say oyasumi. And if you want to say it in a formal way, just add nasai to the end, which makes it oyasumi nasai. What do you say when you're leaving and that person is staying? You just say sayonara, which means goodbye. Now that you learned almost all of the basic Japanese greeting, I will now teach you the most common words that are usually used in conversation, such as yes, no, thank you, you're welcome, or many more. So if you want to say yes in Japanese in a formal way, you just simply say hai. And if you want to say it in a casual way, just say And be sure to lengthen the sound in to mean yes. Otherwise, it could mean something else. Or it could lead to a misunderstanding. So be sure to pronounce it properly. And now if you want to say no in a formal way, just say iie. But be sure to pronounce the e sound in iie to make it a no. Otherwise, if you shorten the e sound and say iie, that would mean house. So if you're trying to say no in a formal way, be sure to lengthen the e sound. And if you're trying to say house, then just shorten the e sound and make it ie. Because ie means house, while iie means no. And if you want to say no in a casual way, just say If you want to say excuse me, just say sumimasen. If you made a mistake or accidentally did something wrong to a person, say gomennasai, which means sorry. And gomennasai is a formal way of saying sorry. You usually say this to a stranger, to your boss, or whatever, right? To people older than you or something. And if you want to say sorry in a casual way, just drop the nasai and gomennasai and say gomen. Okay, gomen, and that's it. And if you want to say thank you in Japanese, just say arigato for a casual way. And if you want to say it in a formal way, just add gozaimasu to the end and say arigatou gozaimasu. So now that you have learned the basic greetings and some of the most common words used in daily conversations in Japanese, I will now teach you the basic grammar structure. So the Japanese grammar and English grammar are quite opposite. If in Japanese the grammar goes, or the basic grammar structure goes subject, object, verb, in English it will be subject, verb, object. In English, the verb is in the middle, but in Japanese, it's always the very last. Also, in Japanese, when making a sentence, when the subject is introduced, you can just simply omit it or drop the subject after, when making another sentence. Unlike in English, you have to replace the subject with a pronoun, since since the subject is very important in English. Unlike in Japanese, the subject is not so important. So you can just basically remove the subject in Japanese once you introduce it or once they already know what you're talking about. So now, in Japanese, they also use they put particles to mark each word in the sentence, or like to put emphasis on the word itself. Unlike in English, you don't use particles like the Japanese have. I listed here the basic grammar structure in Japanese, and I will be explaining it to you one by one. Okay, let's start with the particles. So there are a lot of Japanese particles, or like sentence particles in Japanese, but today I would only teach you a few of them, which are wa, ga, ni, o, and ka. What do these particles do? So let me explain it to you one by one. The wa is the topic marker, meaning it puts emphasis on the subject or the topic, basically the topic. Right? So the next particle would be ga. The ga is the subject marker. It puts emphasis on the subject, basically. So what's the difference between wa and ga? The wa puts emphasis on the word after it, while the ga puts emphasis on the word before it. And then next is ni. Ni is a time and place marker, meaning it marks the time and the place. So it's usually used at the same time, it's usually used after the place and time. So you don't put place ni, time ni, blah blah blah. No, you don't do that. But in Japanese, the time can go first, just like in English. But the time in Japanese usually goes before the place. Then next is the o, which marks the object, and meaning it is the object marker. And lastly, ka. Ka is a question particle, meaning it turns the sentence into a question, usually put after the last word of a sentence. Like, let's say, how are you? If you want to say, how are you? In Japanese, you just say, genki desu ka? Genki, which means healthy or energetic. Genki is used to mean something like, how are you? Or something. Like, are you healthy? Or are you energetic? It's just like asking, how are you, basically. Then the des is a universal topic, universal pronoun or something, which means to be. The des could mean she, he, it, they, and so on and so forth. Or is and are. Yeah. And the ka makes it, of course, a question. So if you drop the ka in the sentence genki desu ka, it would be genki desu, which means I'm fine or I'm healthy, energetic. So basically, genki desu ka literally means are you healthy, are you energetic? But it is used to mean how are you, basically. And that's basically it for the Japanese grammar. And I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!